It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang. So I was laying here and I thought I was over this, but apparently I'm not. So everybody knows I'm a mom and I don't play about my kids, but this one literally took the cake. So my 9-year-old, he has two older siblings. Be mindful, his dad is not involved in his life at all. In 9 years, he's probably seen his dad 4 times. So I randomly get a message probably about a month ago, basically saying, hey, I'm not coming to you as a woman, but I just wanted to reach out to see if, you have a kid with, let's call him Barry. So this is on Facebook. So I go to the profile and I'm like, oh my God, that is my 9-year-old's dad, first baby mother. Be mindful, their kid is now 21 years old, and he basically found me on Facebook. So basically, every birthday, I'll tag my son's father, and I'll be like, hey, happy birthday, da 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 da. They do have like a picture together, so I'll post that picture, and I'll say, happy birthday, da 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 da. Praying one day, you'll be in your son's life, blah blah blah, vice versa. So fast forward, the son adds Facebook. This 21-year-old, he adds Facebook, and then he researches me because he can see that his dad has been tagged in this video or this picture of this, this little boy, and it's his birthday or whatever. His name is Channing. So fast forward, I get this message like, I'm not coming to you as a woman, da 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 da. I told you about that. So I'm like, oh my God, I know who you are. Give me a call. So as she's calling me, it's crazy because I'm literally sitting in a child support office trying to get some things rectified with the child support for my 9-year-old. And she was like, okay, I'll end up giving you a call. So she ends up giving me a call or whatever, and I talk, and I'm like, hey, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. I've always wanted my son to know his siblings. For some reason, dad doesn't, want him to know his siblings. Backstory, my son's father has two older kids. So he has a 21-year-old, and he also has an 11-year-old, and then my son, which is 9. He is involved in both of the other kids' lives, but with my son, he's not active at all. So her and I get on the phone and we shooting the shit. We start talking or whatever, and we're talking about, relationships. I'm not gonna disclose some of the things she told me or whatever because clearly they still have some type of connection. Me and him are done. I cut him off a long time ago. Again, like I said, my son is 9 years old. So she starts telling me how her son, which is my child's brother, wants to get to know him. He's actually in college. He is 40 minutes away from me in college, right? And he wants to know his brothers, and he really wanted to know, was my son, Channing, really his brother? So I tell this lady, I'm like, yes, that is his son. Why he's not involved, I don't know. I really don't care. I have focused on being a parent to my son and being the best mom I can be to my son and making sure he don't feel like, he has rejection issues and things like that, or orphan spirits. So right now I'm focused on my child. I'm not worried about who's not present. That's not something that we focus on. However, I am very honest with my son. So I tell her, everything like, yep, that's his son, this, that, and the third. So she goes on to say, oh, well, why is he not active? Did he not think that the child is his or something? So that kind of was like condescending to me or whatever, but I wasn't offended. I'm like, that's definitely his son. He pays child support for him every month. And there has been a paternity test done, duh. So we exchanged stories or whatever. Really nice lady, she ended up, telling me things about her experience with Barry. I told her my experience with Barry and, all the lies and the trauma and things like that I went through with him, and how I had forgiven him and I had moved on or whatever, but that piece with him still being an active father was still not there yet. So she says, okay, I'm going to reach out to my son and we're going to message you guys back and then we'll let you know how we're going to proceed moving forward. So about a day or so goes by and she says, hey, just want to make sure we're on the same page because I don't want Barry to know that my child wanted to reach out or wanted to speak to you guys or wanted to meet, my son. And it took me about a day to sit on that because sometimes I'm delayed with my thought process and I'm a very logical person. So I had to sit on it for a day. And after I sat on it, I slept on it, I prayed about it, I talk to my best friend because she's very wise when it comes to like counseling and things like that. And sometimes I can be impulsive. So I like to get somebody that's kind of level headed around me sometimes to just say, hey, am I tripping? So best friend's like, no, definitely you're not tripping. She was like, I was like, hey, because my son is not a secret. I said, if they really want to meet, I said, the hell with how he feels, the oldest one feels about the relationship with his dad, etc. Because at the end of the day, the dad is the one that is living a lie and is full of deceit and has deprived my child, not only my child, but his other two kids, of having a relationship. Like, they are brothers, they are siblings, they are blood brothers. You have deprived your kids of having a relationship, growing up together, etc., because of your pride. I mean, the reality
So now
is
it's
you're a
her
terrible
pride.
fucking person, and I just don't really feel as though you deserve to be spared in this situation. Like, you need to be able to have that hard conversation with your 21-year-old as to why you kept this 9-year-old a secret. So after 24 to 48 hours, I came
I
back
don't
with that
know.
decision. And I said, I reached out to her. I sent her a long message. I'm like, hey, oh my God, it was so nice to meet you. I said, but I will not allow my son to keep reliving the hurt of being a secret. Like, my baby daddy is not married or nothing like that. He just is a coward and he don't want to be a father. So why should I keep covering him when my child is the one that's going through these rejection issues? And I remember, sometimes he'll talk to his dad and he'll break down and cry. I don't understand why I can't see my dad. Be mindful, his dad lives 21 minutes away from us. We pass his house all the time, especially when my son is going to track out camp. So he does not understand why his dad is not active. Why are we covering him? So I end up sending her a nice message and I said, hey, thanks, but no thanks. My child is not a secret. When your son is ready to meet his brother and, have that conversation with his dad about why he wanted to know who his brother was, then we can have that conversation. Outside of that, it's an absolute no for me. And I did have that conversation with my son as well.
Mm,
So I do want to respond to this comment here. She said, I think the mom put her 2 cents in and derailed the situation. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you how I know she derailed the situation, because after I sent her that message, like, no, thank you, we're good. I did have a conversation with my son too, and he's 9, but he's very wise. He is one of my smartest kids. The boy is like a freaking genius. Um, I explained to him everything that was going on and that his brother did want to meet him. And I told him, everything, but of course in layman's terms, because he's 9. And he opted to, he was like, okay, that's nice. I did show him a picture, but he was okay, thank you, Mom, but I'm okay. I say, in any event you change your mind or anything like that, we can discuss it. I'm an open book with my kids. And then I went back and she deleted all of the messages that she had initially sent me, right? But you already know I had them screenshots on deck. If it ever comes back that I tried to reach out to her or whatever, girl, stop playing with me. Yeah. It's more to the story too.
we know that something missing.
But yeah, I'm gonna say that. You're reaching. You're reaching. At the end of the day, my son is 9 years old. He doesn't have the mental space to decide what he wants to do, right? So I have to decide what's in the best interest of my child. My child is not a secret. I don't care how many times you post or ask me questions. My child is not a secret. If you can't love my child publicly, you will not have access to him. That's the bottom line. I did have this conversation with my child, and I told him that I felt as though it was in his best interest. And I also asked my child what he thought about the situation. He felt the same exact way. He is not a secret. He has been going through this with his dad for 9 years. I've seen my son cry. I've seen my son break down, and I'm going to protect him at all costs. It is in his best interest for him to be loved by people that loves him back and loves him out loud. The end.
Says, what was her response? She says, I agree with everything you're saying. Something did mention that he wanted to meet Channing, but didn't want his dad to know we reached out because he didn't want him to be mad. I shared that with you because I agree that we're both robbed of valuable opportunities, memories. He's 21, still trying to process that his hero would hide it, and it's a child from the rest of his family. I agree that the child definitely shouldn't be groomed to lie. From our conversation, I did not realize that there was a hints of your son mentioning it. That's a great point. I will save your number just in case anything changes. I will not mention anything to so and so at all either. Similar, some loyalty is to my son, not his dad. Hopefully, Amari will get to a point where he is comfortable. What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We back in the confessional, and yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my homeboy Lucky Wizard Deals. He keeps it lit. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Make sure y'all hit the link down below. We got the custom_freaks where you can get your Dallas Cowboys just got their butt whooped tumbler. I'm not even gonna pick it up, but I am, just to show y'all the good quality tumbler that I have. Okay, good quality tumbler. This does glow in the dark. Okay, hit the link below to custom_freaks in the description. Now let's get into it. Now, before we finish our videos, I have something to say, and I'm not gonna be long-winded because I like to be long-winded, but I'm gonna tell you. I think. Yeah, there is some missing out of the conversation, but I do not understand why she does not want her son to meet her sibling and why it can't be a secret. Like, do you want to make a Facebook post that so-and-so met his son or his brother, or what is it that you're meaning, like a secret? Like, okay, we can meet, they can talk. We don't have to put it on social media or whatever. They can talk about, or you can put it on social media. I don't know. What is it that you outwardly are seeking? Because if she's reaching out to you, whether it be the son or the mom, the brother or the mom, it's still, it's still a meet. Like I don't get it. But again, I think this mom is petty. Although she's well within her rights. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm also not saying she's right either. But she's well within her rights to keep her kid away from them. But that's only depriving more. So now it's after you handle that situation, okay, how do we move forward? Are we keeping this thing a secret, or are we just letting it be? Are we able to make Facebook posts? Are we able to invite them to parties? What are we doing? Now, to say that the dad will get mad, I think it's kind of crazy that a dad will get mad that his sons are meeting each other. That makes absolutely no sense. But I don't know this man. And I think for them to even say that he would get mad over this lets me know this guy ain't ish. One, he don't take care of his kids. Well, he don't take care of that one, the 9-year-old. He ain't nothing. But for some reason, I think that maybe she don't like the man, but she probably don't like her either. Just because she had prior dealings with that man. So these feelings that I think she's having and wanting to say, we're not keeping you a secret, I think that's coming from the hurt of a man not taking care of his kid for 9 years, which has nothing to do with the other son. So I'm kind of confused. Like, what if your son turns 16 now? He wants to meet his brother. So in 7 years, he wants to meet his brother. His brother's 28. Does he still have to think like, well, I'm a secret, bro? Our dad is just not in my life, but I do have a sibling that I do want to get to know. Like, I'm not sure. Like that's a whole big brother situation. My big brother can help me out. My big brother can tell me how to do this. My big brother can pick me up from or come see me play football or, take me to a date or, my big brother. I don't see why she would do that. But again, I guess I understand what she's saying. I just don't think it's the best reason. So let's finish hearing her reply to the comments about the situation, because maybe she'll go more in depth about it. So let's see.
Yeah, let's talk about this comment right here. So it says that lady was just being nosy. Her grown-ass 21-year-old would have reached out directly, made arrangements to connect with his brother. I think she wants to know about your past dealings. Absolutely. I kind of got that too. The reason why I say that is because when I initially asked her, like, did you want to share anything about, like, y'all background, etc. They recently just reconnected, like, after her divorce, and they had been, like, dealing with each other for 3 years, right? In the midst of that, this man was in my messages asking me, like, to get married, sending me rings and things like that. And I was like, no, I don't want to marry you. You're full of shit. He's almost like, he's close to like 50. But he's never been married, things like that. He has commitment issues. And she told me that the reason he said he had commitment issues is because she was the love of his life. And she was married and moved on at the time. So he couldn't be with her. So that's why he had commitment issues. And he never wanted to settle down. He told me the same thing. I love you.
He ain't shit.
You hurt me, this, that, and the third. I hurt you by keeping our kid and bringing our child into this world and nurturing him and stepping up even when you didn't want to be a man. If that's what hurting you looks like, then I guess I'll just have to wear that. But I'm going to post the ring, guys, that he showed me that he had. So I definitely told her, I was like, did he show you like a ring? Did he, she was like, no. So my whole thing is, you've dealt with him off and on for probably 20 plus years, because she said they met in like high school. If he hasn't committed to you yet, what makes you think he's gonna, because again, she was having more issues with women, etc. Hence to why she didn't want to deal with him anymore. And now why she was reaching out to me. I'm sorry, sis, but your comment gives delulu and desperate. You want my son to have a relationship with someone that wants to keep him a secret. Let me ask you a question.
I don't know.
If you were dealing with a man and he wanted to keep you a secret, would you be okay with that?
That's not the same
As an
thing.
adult, would you be okay with that? If he really wanted to know his sibling, he wouldn't care. He's an adult. He can't be punished. He can't be disciplined or anything by his father. Again, like I said in my previous messages, this is deceit on his dad's part. He has deprived him of knowing his siblings for 11 years. When Shannon was born, he was 11 years old, 10 years old, or whatever. He had the opportunity to build a bond with his brothers. Him and his 11-year-old brother have a bond. I think this is a crazy statement. I know I won't have a change of heart. It's not about hope at this point. It's about what's right and standing 10 toes on what's right. And my kid will always come first. My kid's mental health will always come first. And no, you're insane. I think what y'all fail to realize is I'm not teaching my son to lie. Not happening. Now, again, in my initial video, I did say that he has seen his son 4 times, maybe 5 times in 9 years. My son is 9 years old.
But he wants to marry you.
He does have his own cell phone, right? So let's play devil's advocate and say,
Can't believe she entertained that.
they end up meeting without dad. My son is 9, so he may eventually text his dad and say, hey, I met, say his brother's name is Nathan. Hey dad, what's up? I just want to let you know I met Nathan. Isn't that going to cause problems anyway? Because dad is going to feel like Nathan went behind his back to meet his little brother that he does not know about. So involving a dad wasn't really a secret, just a way to garner a natural relationship between siblings without having to run through or discuss crime. Listen, this is going to be a disaster either way you look at it. If I allow my son to go meet his brother secretly, we run the chance of my 9-year-old telling his dad. And that's what I also told the mom in the text messages. I said,
but if you don't talk
are
to
you
him,
aware that my son is 9 and he may speak to his dad and tell him that he met Nathan? That's not going to age very well. I think we have to look at all sides of this when we're thinking about children being involved. Like, he's 9 years old. I am not teaching him to lie. I'm not going to tell him like, hey, don't tell Nathan that you didn't speak to your dad. Now, if we were dealing with two 21-year-olds or a 30-year-old and a 20-year-old, that's a different scenario. Baby girl, we're talking about a 9-year-old here. So this question says, so you never met the kids? Yes, I did meet the kids, but you got to think my baby and the middle boy are 2 years apart. So he's young, so he probably don't remember me. Also, my son is 9 years old now. Before I could even deliver my baby, me and dad were done. That's a whole nother story time I have to give you guys. But we were done. There was a lot of infidelity. Well, we weren't married, but there was a lot of cheating going on. He's always been a cheater from even talking to her. She told me that that was part of the issue and why they didn't end up together, because there was lots of cheating going on. Even to when they reconnected these last 3 years, cheating. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. The oldest son used to be down for the summer because his mom lived in New York initially. But yeah, she came back here to rekindle things with him. And now they're no longer together because he can't keep his penis in his pants. So this says, I wish my baby daddy, first baby mom, would reach out to me. We never met. He never mentioned her name, etc. I wish I could find her and reach out. Yeah, so the second baby mom, she doesn't want anything to do with me. She doesn't want her son to know my son. He's still dicking her down, of course. She doesn't want anything to do with my son. She doesn't want our kids to know each other. I did try to reach out to her. I did my due diligence. I wanted my boys to know, hey, look, I tried to reach out to this sibling. I tried to reach out to this sibling. I even tried to reach out to dad's mom to let her know, like, hey, you know, you got a new grandson, this, that, and the third. If you want to be involved, that door is open. What you're not going to ever be able to say in any event that he does come around later on and he realizes, like, hey, you know, I really need to be in my son's life. What you won't be able to say is, I kept you away from your kids. You won't be able to say that your mom was bitter and she didn't want you to know who your family was, etc. Listen, it is documented that I reached out and that I wanted him to know that side of the family, right? But maybe that's not God's plan. Not saying it's a long-term plan, but it's not that plan right now. So with that being said, listen, when she reached out, I was receptive to it. Listen, I don't want him. I don't want anything from him sexually. No, I think he's the scum of the earth for what he has done to my son. And again, all I can remember is my son breaking down on several occasions after he's got off the phone with his dad because he can't understand why. He knows his dad is only 21 minutes away from him. So yeah, maybe one day all the girls can get together. We can have some tea, some cocktails, and we could talk about our kids and we can catch up and we can make sure they stay in touch, right? Until then, I'm gonna keep moving and shaking like I know how to.
Says, why are y'all in a relationship? And why did y'all break up? Says, I pray you deal with your heart and this eternally before you end up by yourself. I'm sure you fumbled a lot of great women as well. He says, the only great woman in my eyes I fumbled is you. You did hear of the statement fumble recovery, though, right? Oh, there's the ring. Oh, snaps. That shit fake. That ring faker than a $3 bill, child. Yeah, you might as well get that one up. Get that one up. Get that one up.
Oh, Courtney.
You tell your baby daddy happy birthday every year, but
Who
won't let him
told
see the
their baby
sibling.
daddy happy birthday? If you have a comprehension issue and you need clarity on something, I was always told to ask. I think y'all really have selective hearing and y'all get on this app and y'all hear whatever y'all want to hear to appease your childhood traumas merely because you wanted to meet your sibling and you feel like you couldn't meet your sibling, etc. So when comments like this are made, I really feel like you guys are trying to live through this app.
Wait. I thought she was telling the baby daddy happy birthday too. Cause she said every year, you posting a picture of him, you said on his birthday, you kind of insinuated that it was for the baby daddy. But if it's not, I'm glad I didn't comment on this. But a lot of people are saying, one person says, I don't like the tone of the original commenter, but I'm not even gonna lie, I thought the happy birthday was for the baby daddy too. Okay, and she says, I get it now that you broke it down. The other person says, to be honest, I thought that's what you said too, but I'm glad you're clarifying, and I agree you did the right thing. She says, girl, I'm from the South, I talk fast. So I thought it was weird and petty, and I was just gonna move on from it, but I see you talking about the son, possibly.
Or you're frustrated because you wish your parent would have did something different. But let me tell you something. As for me in my house, we don't play those games over here. What was said, since you do have a comprehension issue, is I tell my son happy birthday every year and I tag his father in the post. Did I say that slow enough for you?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So the son was able to find me because he added Facebook. He said that Facebook was for old people and he didn't want to add it. But he eventually added Facebook. He added his dad as a friend, and seeing that his dad had been tagged in happy birthday posts from me to my son. I don't know what else to tell you, Courtney.
Should just wish your son happy birthday and move on. All right, everyday people, there you have it. What do you think about this situation? Is she right or is she wrong? Does her son deserve the opportunity to meet the older sibling or vice versa? Is it petty or is it just being, I guess what I'm trying to say is I think she's just finding a way to hold the dad accountable for making this happen. And saying that, okay, well, if he needs to meet his siblings, I think that's something that the dad should do and not us. I believe that's where she's going with this. Like, we shouldn't have to be bringing these kids together on account of him not being a good father to my son. He needs to be a father to my son, and he needs to come and make sure my son knows he's loved and has siblings that love him, know that he has a grandmother that love him and stuff like that. I think that is where she's going with this. I don't think that she's intentionally trying to say, no, I don't want them to meet so they can be a secret. No, I want the dad to step up and do this. And she's right. Absolutely, she's right. in that sense. But then there's still the chance, there's the opportunity, and not to say that it's not what you want. There's that opportunity, and you don't have to take the opportunity. And I wouldn't say that what I'm not gonna call you wrong. I just feel like if maybe if the son goes back and says, nah, I want to meet my brother. I don't care if he knows. I don't care if my dad knows. I don't care if he don't know. I wanna meet another part of me that looks like me, that talks like me, that walks like me. I want to meet that. Reason being, I do have older siblings that are have siblings. Do I know? No, when I found out about my siblings, they had already been around. They had already been around, just I didn't know. And when I did find out, I said, I got a brother. I remember one day I was at my football game. I might have been 7, 8 years old. I'm at a football game, and my dad says, "Hey, PJ, here's your older brother." I'm like, my older brother? My mama ain't got no more kids. What is he talking about? So I met my older brother at my football game, and I got to asking, well, why don't he come around? Mama, I got an older brother. She's like, yeah. So after that, I find out not only did I have an older brother, I got 2 more older sisters. So I'm like, damn. I remember going over my grandma's house, and we walk in the house. My grandma got this girl in between her legs doing ponytails in her hair. Said, meet your older sister. I'm like, interesting. Well, she's coming to stay the weekend with y'all, okay? So, but that was my dad and his family and everything. And I think, like, I don't know if my dad was keeping him a secret or nothing, but I wasn't hurt because, again, I was about the same age as her son. So when I got to meet my older siblings, who probably was a secret, probably wasn't a secret, but it sure didn't interfere in my life. But then when they came in, it was just like, I got an older brother. My older brother started to come around. I started to be happy more. My older brother coming around. He teaching me how to dance. He couldn't teach me sports. I could kick his ass in sports since I could remember. But he was teaching me about girls. And a bunch of other things. I got to see my brother do a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have been seeing him do. You know what I mean? But it was just having an older sibling. I remember him coming to stay with us when I was like 12 years old. So this is recent. It was within a reasonable amount of time that my brother came to start living with us. My older sister had already lived with us. And I have another sister. We have a close relationship, but she always lived out of town in Dallas. So when we would go to Dallas, I would see her all the time. Till the point where when I got older and I started to go to Dallas, I started to see her more. I built more of a relationship with my sister when I was old enough to drive and I could see her because I was out in Dallas. I built more of a relationship than I had growing up. I would just see pictures, call her on her birthday type stuff, that type of stuff. Never really got to see her much. But we in a group chat, we talk to each other, we do all this stuff. But we ended up building our own relationship outside of our dad as we grew up. Like, I don't know. But so I guess that's why I say it all leans on the dad. If the dad wants it to happen, the dad needs to make it happen. And I think that's where the moms should be leaning towards. They don't have to lean on each other. They don't have to make excuses of why they should or they shouldn't meet. One thing they should agree on is Barry. Barry need to step the hell up and make it a point. Everyday people, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'ma holler at you later, people.
day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.